everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing my tipping video and I'll see how I did last week and I'll be in round 7 and I'll be going through my tips this week in round 8. So without any further ado, let's begin. So I tipped the Melbourne Demons against the Richmond Tigers by 29 points and they won by 20 points at that Eve clash, which was a very good tip to get. I actually tipped that for my gauntlet. So I'm glad. I think Richmond were quite competitive. No, Richmond came back a lot at the end, I'm pretty sure, but definitely wasn't enough because of how much they were up by Melbourne at one point. I tipped the Pies against Essendon. That was another one correct. So I got 2 for 2 here. That was the Anzac Day clash. And Essendon, they hit the front in the third quarter, I'm pretty sure. And then Collingwood, they just dominated ever since. So I'm glad I got that one. Fremantle against Crows. Now, I actually thought I tipped the Crows, but I must have tipped Freo, which is good because I went 3 from 3. Fremantle, I think they got to a 50-point lead or something, and then the Crows climbed back, but it just wasn't enough to an 18-point defeat. I tipped Brisbane here against the Saints, which was a good one to get. Brisbane won quite comfortably, not much to say about it. Port against North Melbourne. Port should have won by much more, I must admit. To be versing North Melbourne, who is second to bottom, they should have won by a lot more, but I'm still glad I got it. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4. I got my first 5 tips. And then here comes the first tip I didn't get correct of the round. I tipped the Giants to beat the Dogs, which they were very competitive half-time, but in the second half, the Dogs, they just belted them. I don't know how many goals they kicked. I think Giants kicked like 3 goals in the second half. They were not up to it. I tipped Gold Coast against Sydney. Now, this was an interesting match. Sydney were up by 29 points late in the second, and then Gold Coast went on to kick 12 or 13 goals in a row, which is their new club record, which was insane. And then they won by like 50 points in the end. They won the second half by like 70 points or something. So I'm definitely glad I tipped the Suns there. I tipped Carlton against Geelong, and I tipped Geelong. And I can't believe the Blues actually won, the Blue Baggers. They were great the whole game and they just finished it off. So that was a shocking one to get wrong. I thought I'd get that correct. So I'm losing a few tips here. Now the final game of the round, Hawthorn West Coast. We all knew Hawthorn were going to win, and I got that one quite comfortably. So let's go through this week's tipping. Yep. Okay, tomorrow night, on Thursday night, we've got Essendon and North Melbourne at Marvel. I've tipped Essendon for my gauntlet. I'll definitely say Essendon here. I'll go 28 points. But North Melbourne, I just have this feeling that they might actually win. I feel like it could be a close game, but I reckon on paper Essendon should win this by 28 points. I'm going to tip the Dockers. Oh, that's this is one of the toughest games of the round to tip. I'm just going to say because the Saints' poor performances lately, I'll probably go the Dockers here, even though it's at Marvel. We've got Bulldogs Port at Mars. I want to tip the Power, but I feel like the Dogs would be too good at Ballarat. Their recent form has been great, so I'll probably tip the Dogs here. Crows Carlton at Allen Oval. I just have to go the Crows here. It should be quite an obvious one. Even though the Cats beat Geelong, that was at Marvel, I'm pretty sure, Carlton's home ground. So this is at Allen Oval though, so the Crows would definitely get it done. Oh, big clash here. Collingwood and Geelong, Saturday night at the MCG. Geelong, after last week's performance, I can't see them winning now. I'll have to go the Pies here. We've got West Coast and... Guys, I'm so sorry that it cut out there. So, West Coast and Melbourne at Optus. I have to go the D's. I have a feeling that West Coast can win, but they were terrible against the Hawks last week, so I have to go for Melbourne here. Optus, Sydney Giants at the SCG. I think this is the Sydney Derby. Oh, where are they on the ladder? Sydney 14th and the Giants are 6th. Giants were terrible last week. They were absolutely disgraceful. I'm going to go an upset here. I reckon the Swans can actually win this, even though they haven't been in the best form. I reckon, I don't think they won last week, but they'll be feeling, they'll want to, well, both teams would want to win this week, but I just have this feeling that the Swans will get up here. And not the final game of the round, Hawthorn and Richmond. That's just so obvious, that one. We'll tip the Hawks. And Brisbane Gold Coast at the Gabba. Oh, this is one of the most highly anticipated matches in Q-Clash history. I have a feeling the Suns will win, even though the odds... I'm going to go the Suns here. I'll go another upset. I have this feeling that Gold Coast are going to be great this year now. Okay, so that's the end of this round's tipping. I might check in with the com, but I don't expect anyone joined. No, that's sad. So could you guys please join? I'd really like it. So I guess that is the end of the video now, though. Remember to like and subscribe if you like what you've seen, and I'll see you again next time with a Teen Coach video, probably. Bye!